Hello, welcome to this week's paint along video. This week, we are, hold on, the camera has frozen. Sorry about that. We're gonna work on the NMM. Get started on it at least. You can see I've already base coated it with brown liner. Here's got a lot of different mixes. We'll see if I use them all. Trying to go for a little bit more of an orangey yellow. We'll see if this works out. So this is the regular NMM Gold Shadow with a little bit of Chestnut Gold, about 1 drop, plus 4 drops of the other. And then this one is that Chestnut Gold with a bunch of lantern yellow. Then we got mostly lantern yellow plus a tiny bit of Chestnut Gold. And then here we got a mixture of these two guys, lantern yellow and NMM Gold Highlight. And this is mostly just NMM Gold Highlight and then pure white, obviously, for that high. We'll see if we get to all that. I'm gonna focus in on just like one area, so we'll do this area here. I can't get it. There we go. Focused. Gold is one of those things that I can tend to have a hard time doing NMM on, so that is why I have several wells. Kind of makes it easier to do a lot of mixes if you are like me and you struggle with getting that right blend. Kind of working our way up through the different layers, the different mixes, making sure to really focus in on where the shiny parts are as we get brighter and brighter. It takes practice kind of understanding where that will be. You can do trial and error. You can just see like maybe up here. And if it just doesn't quite look as you bring up to the white highlight, if it just doesn't look like it's right placement, you can always just go back over it. happens a lot, so you're not alone if that is what you have to do. Okay, this is that last color before just the pure white. We're going to use this to do a little bit of reflected light in some areas where there would be. Now for that pure white highlight. I have to be kind of careful with this because it is quite a bit of a jump from the last color. So we just want a dot where the highest, shiniest parts will be. We'll see if I got these in the right spot. looking pretty good. Taking in, bringing in some of this more orangey yellow that I've got. Got it thin enough that it can work as kind of a glaze. We'll just have to bring that white purest highlight back up a little bit. We'll make sure that this goes more towards an orangey yellow. We'll make sure that's dry before we bring back up the pure white spots. That should be dry by now. I'm gonna go ahead and actually just take the lantern yellow. I'm gonna make a glaze, just that. And I really will get that orangey yellow. I'm gonna make sure it's a nice light glaze though, so I'm not completely knocking out all the work that I just did. And something like this actually can be, it's kind of easier than like a sword or a flat piece of armor or whatever, because it makes it so that this stays pretty small, and so you really like, if you kind of pay attention to how I was painting with the brush, there's very few actual areas that I was hitting. It's like you can see that there's a lot of that dark shadow color still left there, and not much of the middle colors are as visible. Kind of built slightly on top of them, and that is how gold works. For Gold NMM, you are gonna have mostly the highlight and the shadow taking up most of the surface. You're not gonna have as much of the mid-tone color or colors if you like what I did here on the palette. So this is that light glaze of the lantern yellow. I'll just put it all over, and I'll get out this excess here. Use a different brush. really that nice orangey yellow. And I'll just put the white highlight back in. Since it's a light glaze, it should actually already be pretty dry. And I think I've got pretty much about right with where the highlights should be going, so kind of sticking with what I have already done. There we go. We got one piece done. We can go ahead and get these two tiny ones. It's really not much you're going to do on that. You got the dark shadow. We'll take one of these middle colors. Got it thin down quite a bit, so get 2 layers of it here. And just one pop of white. And there's that. So there we go. Got a decent start. So, show you my palette again here. There's that glaze that I made of the lantern yellow. Sorry, my voice is a little weak this week, so hopefully y'all have been able to hear me, and at the very least you can watch and learn from the way that I paint. Rewatch the video a few times just to see how I do it. That is the start for now, and I will see y'all next week for more painting of the Genie.